Who wants to go to India? Anybody wants to go to India? Okay. So sign up to Mira. Next summer you might go. If you have a Bible, can you open John chapter 9? John chapter 9. John chapter 9. Now as Jesus passed by, he saw a man who was blind from birth. And his disciple asked him, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. The night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had said these things, he spit on the ground and made clay with the saliva, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said to him, go, wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent. So he went and washed and came back seeing. Therefore, the neighbors and those who previously had seen that he was blind said, is not this he who sat and begged? Some said, this is he. Others said, he is like him. He said, I am he. Therefore they said to him, how were your eyes open? He answered and said, a man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. So I went and washed, and I received sight. You guys probably familiar with this story. So this guy, he was sitting always and begging for money to survive, to just have something for living. And interesting thing that in the first verse said, now as Jesus passed by, he saw a man. We see a couple pictures on the screen from India. On the street there is always a lot of people. And we can go downtown Seattle, we see a lot of poor people that they ask for money. And there is a lot of them. And if we can draw a picture back in the Jesus days, I think there is not only this guy, there was much more. There's sitting and just begging for money, People had different problems. This guy, he couldn't see. So he also sit and beg and ask for money. But the thing is that in the first verse, again I'm saying, now as Jesus passed by, he saw a man. So he saw this guy. When he was passing by, he saw this guy. He saw that he has a problem, that he's in need. He needs something. He needs more than just a couple bucks or maybe couple coins. He wants to see. He wants more than just couple coins. And Jesus saw that. He saw that. He see that, and he knows his heart. He knows what he's going through. And I just want to tell you and to myself, whatever we're going through, Jesus, he knows. He knows what you are going through. And he's not gonna walk by. He's not gonna pass you. He will come to you and he will answer your prayer, as he did in this story. But it could be different way than you expect. So I just want to go back in 2014 and early in 2014 when doctors told me this, my problem, my sickness. And I remember it was right before I had to make a decision. Either I have to go to the hospital and through the chemo, through all that stuff. And it was Sunday morning. and we had communion. I was just standing and just praying, and everybody, and pastors and preachers would always, during that service, they would encourage, take the bread, drink the wine, and just receive healing. Because people a lot of time they was testifying, that you can receive healing. And I was just praying and expecting healing. I had just this clear thought of this story, of this man, that Jesus did something. He put the clay on his eyes and he said, do something. Go to that pool and just wash your eyes. And I was just like, whoa. So it was just, for me, it was revelation. It was just like, I just clearly understand that, just God was saying to me, go to the hospital and you will be well. You will be healed after that. Sometimes we not understand, we can't understand why answers to our prayer come in different ways, maybe sometimes in hard ways, but there is a reason. So just imagine this. Jesus told this man, go to the pool. And Vlad, if you can, just show the pictures on the screen. So, yeah, I believe, so on top, on the right, that big building, I believe this is the temple where Jesus and that guy had the conversation. And where there's the circle, this is the pool where the man had to go. So imagine there is a distance. And maybe some of the people know this man, who was nearby him. Just, that people who would just help him to come on the street and help for money. But those people by the pool, they didn't know, this blind man. But Jesus told him, go to the pool. So there is, йому надо пройти було дорогу. He had to do something. And while he was walking, a lot of people might ask him, where are you going? What are you doing? And, random people maybe on the street while he was going to the pool, people would ask him, where are you going? What are you doing? You're supposed to be, on your place and asking for money. And people keep asking him questions. That's my assuming, And people would ask him, where are you going? What are you doing? And he would explain maybe, and he would tell them, well, I'm going to pool and to receive a healing, That's what Jesus told me. And people will be like, okay, well, we'll see what's gonna happen. And every step he did, and maybe the more people would ask him, and the more people know this story, the more people would know about his trip to pool. And I believe when he get healed, all those people who never knew him, but when they met him on this way to the pool, they also heard after what happened to him. Same thing, same thing to me. Maybe if I would receive a healing on Sunday morning on that spot, in church, maybe a couple of the people would know about my healing. But when I had to go this walk to the hospital, a lot of people, a lot of churches heard about this. A lot of people, a lot of young people heard what happened to me. And they was praying for me. And they heard what happened to me. Then now when I received healing, when God healed me through this, much more people, got encouraged. And, тому що, якщо б я би на місці зцілився, то знала би тільки маленька група людей. А так почули багато людей. І може багато більше людей, в їх віра просто підросла до Ісуса. І більше кому я міг би розказати про Бога. A lot of I met a lot of people during this time, in 2014, I met so much people. I had a chance to tell a lot of people what happened to me, how I was going through this. But if would miracle happen in 1 second, I might not know those people that I'm knowing right now. I might never met those people. If I would now go through this, let's say, hard way, through the chemo, through radiation. And same thing, if this man would be healed just on the spot, when Jesus would see him and say a word, just пробач, стань ведючим. Maybe there is 100 people, 50 people would know about this miracle. But while this man was traveling to the pool, he met much more people, and he told his purpose, why he's going to the pool, to receive a healing. And I believe those people who met him while he was going to the pool, when he was walking back from the pool, and when they saw him, that he can see, they were like, wow, this is miracle. But there is another thing. Vlad, if you can show another picture. Yeah, so this is the place where, when he did the thing what Jesus told him. Okay, next picture. You don't have the third one? Okay. How many of you visit sauna? Any of you? Do you guys ever saw that sand watch or something? You just, that kind of thing. Ти перевертаєш, і там пісок так помаленьку туди біжить. Потім перевертаєш в другу сторону. Huh? Okay. Yeah, that's the name of that stuff. So while you're walking, I believe this man, while he was walking to receive his healing, while he was walking to the pool, I think a lot of people were telling him also, where do you think you're going? You think you will receive your sight just to wash your face, to wash your eyes from just random pool? Or even just, devil just giving him doubts, and just, this is crazy, where are you going? What are you doing? Just go back to your place and just chill, relax. And while I was thinking about this, I had, similar things. When I received the word, it was just like, so encouraging. But there was a day that doubts were trying to sneak into my heart. It was just like that sand watch, that thing. Вони так помаленьку, так просто хоче в тебе просто так, знаєш, зайти в твоє серце. Так slowly but surely, that sand is just like наповняє тую нижню частину, піском наповняє, and in 15 minutes it's full. And while you're going, if you're not paying attention, the doubts can fill your heart slowly but surely, just all the way. And the next thing you know, you don't have faith. You just like, what's going on? I just yesterday or 2 days ago, I just received this word. I have faith enough. It's not there. So what happened when the doubts start coming into your heart? I feel just a little bit, or maybe just half of it, or maybe even full. What do you have to do? Just flip it. Just перевернути в другу сторону. І своє серце упорожнювати from doubts, but just proclaiming the word that God gave it to you. Just filling your heart with the word that God gives you. Just, how can you just get rid of the doubts? You just have to confess what God told you. You just have to fill your heart with the word of God. Because word of God is a living, it's a truth. God, he never lies, whatever he said is true. So sometimes we just have to fight with those doubts, and we just have to maybe just walk and just confessing and just keep saying, and just saying, doubts, you have no place in my heart. I know that he who promised is faithful, because our God is faithful God. And even after this man, he get healed, he came home. And, those people saw him that he's healed and he can see now. And people would just ask him, and Pharisees would ask him, what happened to you? How this happened? And just знов почалася, можна сказати, на його така атака. Знову почали люди не признавати Ісуса, що Ісус – це реальний від Бога посланий Месія. І вони почали знову йому, можна сказати, ці даут спускати в його серце. І почали говорити, він не міг би тебе, Ісус, це він не від Бога, іди прослав Бога. And just kind of like keep sending doubts in his heart. So just my message to all of you and to myself, just guard your heart. Don't let doubts come to your heart. when God just tell you something, when God send you somewhere, somewhere where you never been, and you just start walking, and start walking by faith, and slowly, devil always wants to stop the work of faith. He wants to take away your faith. He wants to just put some doubts in your heart. He just wants to send you some doubts and just telling you like, hey, whatever God said, it's not truth. That's who he is. He's a liar from the beginning. But God, he's faithful. Whatever he said, this is truth. So when God tells us something, when he just letting us something, and maybe just in the beginning in our journey, or in the middle, or maybe in the end, the doubts start coming in our heart. Just guide your heart. Just confess what God promised to you, and just fight with the doubts, and just believe that he who promised is faithful, because God is faithful God. Because it's not, sometimes it's very hard, sometimes it's not easy. And I believe that every one of you have something to say that what God did in your life. And maybe you're in school or around the friends, and when you say something what God did in your life, and you share it with them, and they trying to laugh at you and just say, hey, maybe this is just просто совпадение. Just be on guard and just always defend your faith. Fight for your faith. Don't let doubts come into your heart. Don't let devil to steal your faith, because faith can move mountains. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you. And just we're gonna go to prayer and just ask God, so he would help us to be faithful to him, so he would help us to have more faith in him, so we would not let doubts come in our hearts, but so we would just live by faith, so we would trust in God. Whatever he promised in our life, he is faithful. He wants to do this. Maybe he will bring answers to our prayers in different ways, not the ways we expect. Maybe it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's going to be worth it. At the end of your road, at the end of your journey, you're going to say, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was a great experience. When I was looking back in 2014, some of the moments was very hard. But when I look back, I said it was worth it. I just felt God's presence like I never felt before. I saw God's hands like I never see it before. I just met so much people, and that I could tell them something. Not that just someone's stories, or that someone told me the story, but my own. What I went through, and whatever I was sharing, it was just from my heart. That was something that God did in my life. And it was the people, when they listened to me, they were accepting that, those testimonies, they were touching some other's life, they were just bringing encouragement to other people. Because God did something in my life. It was not because I am strong, but because God did something in my life. So whatever you're going through, just remember God is faithful. And whatever he promised, he will do that. So let's just stand up, and we're just going to go to the prayer and pray to God, so he will just help us.